Hi, my name is Jim Evans, President of Gannon Wealth Security Partners. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to watch our video. Our videos are to help you understand the strategies you need to help protect you, your family, your business, and future generations. Those strategies will be all wrapped around retirement planning, estate planning, tax mitigation, and asset protection. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and make sure you leave comments below so that we know exactly what you want to know. That's what we're here for. Thanks again and enjoy today's video. Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Thank you for taking some time today to watch our video. My name is Jim Evans, President of Gannon Wealth Security Partners, and today we are talking about long-term care insurance, how you can protect your assets from spending all of them, paying for it, and how you can get more assets to the next generation. So we're going to go over 4 different strategies today. We're going to jump right into it. This is a really cool topic, really cool strategy. Those of you who are so young, you're like, that's so far in the future. Jim, I'm not even worried about long-term care insurance. Well, I'm going to give you some statistics today. I'm going to try and give you some statistics today. I'll give you some stats. That's easier to say. So I'm going to give you some stats today, and you might not think that you're ready to look into long-term care insurance, but you might start thinking about it for your parents. So it might be a strategy that you can say, hey, Mom, Dad, I kind of saw this video, and I think you should look at this strategy. It might help. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. 4 options. First one is self-insure. So with that, I'm going to go over today's stats, since I can't say statistics. The stats, New York, $205 to $551 a day. That's amazing, okay? That's very, very expensive. Really, that runs into a little over $6,000 up to $16,000 a month. So, wow. Okay, New Jersey. Gannon Wealth Security Partners is located in the Northeast, so I use 3 states in the Northeast. But give us a call if you're outside of those areas, and we'll give you the stats for your state. 231 to 426. That's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $7,000 to just under $13,000 a month. And Pennsylvania, $185 to $402. You're looking at somewhere between $5,500 and $12,000 a month. So, if you self-insure, then you're going to pay for these out of pockets. You're going to say, listen, I don't need long-term care insurance. I don't need another strategy. I have the assets liquid. God bless you. Pay the nursing home while you're there and say no more, right? Some stats for you, 70% chance over the age of 65, you're going to need some form of long-term care. So that's a very high statistic. If you said 70% chance of rain, I would have brought a raincoat. 6 million people per year over the age of 65 are utilizing some form of long-term care. 44% of all people that use long-term care are between the ages of 18 and 65. That's us, okay? So it is possible for younger people to need long-term care. So it's not just a, hey, I don't have to worry about that until I'm old. Sorry for any people that are over the age of 65 or approaching it, very rapidly. It's not just for you. And then the average stay is 2.5 years. So when you think about the fact that it could cost you $10,000 a month for an average number, and you're looking at $120,000 a year, that is like almost double the average income of the average American, right? And now you topple that all off with the fact that you could be there for 2.5 years. This is a very, very, very expensive endeavor. Now, what could happen is you can end up taking care of Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad, you could end up asking your kids, listen, you're going to have to help out. I can't fulfill 2 of the 6 ADLs. I would qualify for long-term care. I could go into a nursing home, but I'd rather you take care of me and sponge bath me every single day. Listen, it's funny, but it's not. It's not funny because we both know that if you're a parent yourself, the last thing you want to do is put that burden on your children. The second thing is, if you're a parent yourself, you don't want that uncomfortable, you shouldn't be embarrassed, but you will feeling of having to ask your kids, hey, listen, you're going to have to do this, you're going to have to do that, because I can't perform certain activities of daily living, which are eating, toileting, transferring from the bed to a chair, let's say, dressing yourself, continence, and I'm missing one, eating, sleep, dressing, I'm too far into this video to cut it out. All right, I'll post in the, I'm drawing a blank. I can't believe I'm having a brain fart while I'm on screen. Okay, so so this is self-insure. You're just going to pay for it. You have the ability to pay for it. God bless you. You're going to pay for it. The second one is, well, can I get the government or the state to pay for this? Well, it's possible, but Medicaid is only going to kick in if you have very little assets. So one of the strategies that people use who have a little bit of money that they want to protect is we're going to take Mary, okay? Stick figure Mary. She doesn't eat much. Okay, so Mary has $500,000 in a brokerage account, okay? And what she's looking to do, she has other assets, you know, she has a home and all those different things, but she has this $500,000 and she wants to protect it. I always drop a cap every single video. It never, ever fails. Okay, so she has $500,000. What she can do is she can create an irrevocable trust. If you need a refresher, go back to the first video. Okay, so she's going to create an irrevocable trust, a Medicaid asset protection trust. Okay, and she is going to gift this money in here. Okay, this is going to have beneficiaries. It's going to have a trustee. And you guessed it, if you're following along, she's going to have to give up control of that asset. Okay? So in order for her to get this wealth over here and protect it so that she can qualify for Medicaid, she has to give up control. And there's even more. Medicaid has a 5-year look-back period. So Medicaid isn't dumb. If you could just gift this money the day before you go into long-term care, well, then everybody would do it and Medicaid would be paying for everyone. So what they do is they're going to say, well, Mary, if this is 2016 and you go into long-term care facility in 2018, well, you only got 2 years. We can look back 5 years. We see this gift that you made right here, right? So on this 5-year stretch in 2018, they're going to look back at 2013, okay? And they're going to see in 2016, you made a gift. Now they're going to prorate that gift that they just saw you make in 2016. And they're going to say, okay, for every year that you get beyond this is 20%. So in 2017, you earned yourself 20%. In 2018, you earned yourself another 20%. So you have 40% protected. The other 60% is going to be includable in your assets and whether or not you qualify for Medicaid. Okay? Now you have to know the laws of your state. They're going to differ from how much money you can have. If you're married, there's an allowance that your spouse can still have, but you still qualify for Medicaid. So it's I'm giving you a 30,000-foot view here. If you have questions, you can always give us a call. Okay, so 60% of that 500,000 or 300,000 of that money is not going to be protected. Well, you know what? You just protected 200,000. That none of it would have been protected if you didn't do this strategy. So it's not all bad. But think about it. You gave up control of that asset. Since 2016, 2018, you couldn't use it. And then you only protected 40%. So it's a lot to give up to maybe not protect all of it. okay? So this is one strategy to qualify for Medicaid, okay? All right, so that is a Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. We're going to come back to it in a little bit. I didn't mean to erase Mary or her hair. Mary, you came right back to us. You didn't gain a pound. Okay, so let me write Mary's name here. All right. So that takes care of that one. Now, long-term care insurance. Long-term care insurance is a little confusing at first, but you're going to catch on really quick. Okay, so what you're going to do first and foremost when you sit down with your advisor is you're going to get a ballpark of actually how much you're looking to purchase. Well, it's not necessarily like a death benefit in life insurance, right? And it's not necessarily an income replacement in disability insurance, so it's a little bit different. So how do I compute what my benefit is? Well, the first thing is we're going to look back at this daily, right? So let's say I choose $250 a day. Okay, Mary chooses $250 a day. So she's going to buy long-term care insurance that's going to cover her for $250 a day. There is going to be, this is a maximum. So if she only has receipts for, let's say, $205 or $231 or $185, well, then they're going to reimburse her for that in most cases. There are policies that are exclusions to that rule, but as a general rule, you can live by that one, okay? So if it's $231, they're going to reimburse you for $231. They're not going to give you the full $250. Now, they're also probably going to have a limit on the monthly. Okay? So you might have a $7,000 a month limit. I'm making these numbers up as I go from other experience. I didn't do an illustration to actually make these very accurate, okay? But I'm just giving you an idea. So you could get $200 a day, $250, $216, $218, right? And then once you hit the $7,000 for that 30-day period, that month, the rest is going to be on you, okay? The same would be true as if you stayed at a facility that was $400 and some a day. They would cover you for the full $250, and then after that, you would have to pay the rest, okay? So this is your daily limit, okay? The next thing you're going to have to decide is the elimination period. The elimination period a couple of our viewers said that I draw sloppy and I write too slow, so I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. The elimination period can be a 30-day period, a 60-day, 90-day, 180-day, 1 year. The elimination period is how long you have to be in need of long-term care or at a long-term care facility before your long-term care insurance is actually going to pay, which is actually going to kick in. The reason for that is because if you just fall down and hurt yourself and you go to the hospital and end up going to rehab and you end up in a nursing home, right, and you're only there for 60 days and you have a 90-day elimination period, well, that's a short term. It's almost like disability insurance where there's short-term disability and there's long-term disability. The short-term disability obviously covers you in short term. The long-term disability is going to have an elimination period that they're not going to pay during that period, okay? So, obviously, the shorter my elimination period, the more expensive it's going to be. It's more expensive if I have to wait 30 days rather than if I have to wait 90 days, right? That makes sense. Okay, so that's your elimination period. So for Mary here, we're going to choose an elimination period of 90 days. Okay? Almost dropped the cap again. I'm sure some of you are laughing. Okay, now we have the benefit period. The benefit period can be 1 year to, I think the longest I've seen is 6 years, but I could be wrong on that. The reason you don't see too many people going with a really, really, really long benefit period is because the average stay is only 2.5 years. So, you know, when you're really looking at a long time in long-term care thought process, you know, if you have dementia or ALS or Alzheimer's, you know, you could be in there for a really long time. But most cases, you're going to be out of there probably even less than 2.5 years. So you don't really see too many that are going to be longer than that period. However, Mary is going to buy a 5-year benefit. She has medical family history that says, you know what, it's a possibility. So she's going to have a daily limit of $250 a day. She's going to have a 90-day elimination period, meaning it's going to go 90 days before her insurance company is going to start paying for her for long-term care. And then she's going to have a benefit period in this, which I don't have a calculator in front of me, and I didn't use exactly the easiest numbers. But you would basically have a pool at the end. And let's say that pool is $180,000. Okay? Well, there's going to be a limit to the total amount that the insurance company is going to pay. There's going to be a limit to how much they're going to pay on a daily, a monthly. So there are limits to how much they're going to pay, but all that's going to be drawn out in the contract. Obviously, the larger this is, the larger this is, the larger this is, the shorter this is, and the longer this is, you're going to get more and more and more and more and more and more expensive, right? So that all makes sense. So that's long-term care insurance, 30,000-foot view, just so you have a good idea of what is the purpose of long-term care insurance, who buys it, why would they buy it, and if they do buy it, what does it cover, what does it look like? Okay? So I just erased all my check marks. So we went over self-insurance, you paying it yourself. We went over qualifying for Medicaid through a Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. And we went through purchasing long-term care insurance. And now I have this question mark right here under number 4. The fourth one is going to be the one that Gannon Wealth Security Partners Advisors uses the most. It's a combination of 2 and 3. So let's take a look at 2016. Mary comes to Gannon Wealth Security Partners. She sits down with me and she says, Jim, I have a concern about long-term care. I don't want to have to make my kids either pay for it. I don't want my kids to have the burden of taking care of me. I'm all by myself at this point. I want to put something in place. What's the thing that makes the most sense? And Mary is going to buy that $250 a day benefit for long-term care insurance. She's going to have a 5-year benefit period. She's going to have a 90-day elimination period. Okay? And at the same time, she's going to create a Medicaid Asset Protection Trust, and she's going to fund it with $10. $10. Okay? I didn't say that wrong. Not 10,000, not 10 million, $10. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start moving down the line of years, right? And we have, let's say, 2019. 3 years after she did this, she is forced to go into a long-term care facility. And the first 90 days, she pays out of pocket. That is roughly 3 months, right? Okay. On her first day, maybe her second, the first day might be a little crazy, but the second day or the third day, first week, she's not going to wait too long, right? She's going to take that $500,000 that she initially tried to protect in our first example, and she's going to dump that in a gift. She's going to fill out her 709 form. She's going to complete the gift. She's going to retitle the asset, and she's going to put it in her MAP. Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. I'm really having a hard time talking today, folks. I really apologize. Okay, so now this $500,000 is sitting in here. Right? Well, she has a 5-year benefit period. So essentially, she can get all the way to 2024 before the long-term care is exhausted. The insurance is no longer paying. Long-term care insurance is exhausted. She has utilized her entire benefit, and this is done. Well, let's think about this, folks. She went in 2019. She waited 3 months before the long-term care even kicked in, because she had a 90-day elimination period. And then she had a 5-year benefit period. So at this point, she's been in there for 5 years and 3 months. And now, she asks Medicaid to pay her tab for the long-term care facility. Medicaid turns around, they look back 5 years from that day that she applies in the 5-year look-back period, and they find 0 gifts because she made it 5 years and 3 months prior to that. And at that point, she has protected all of this money, and she has now qualified for Medicaid to pay for her medical expenses for long-term care, her long-term care expenses. I don't want to confuse those two instances. This is a great strategy. Ask your advisor if they've ever heard of using this strategy. It is absolutely brilliant. Yes, there is a possibility that you're doing all of this for nothing because you're not going to be in a long-term care facility for 5 years. I understand that. But there are people in there that are in there for over 5 years. Is it a small percentage? Yes. Do you want it to be you? No. So maybe you just buy long-term care insurance. Forget about the Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. Maybe you want to do the MAP without the long-term care insurance. The only thing is it's really hard to time that, and I haven't found too many people that are willing to give up assets and give up the control of those assets who are trying to prepare for long-term care and potentially qualify for Medicaid. So it's a very difficult balance to be on, okay? So I hope that helps. If you have any questions about long-term care, about Medicaid, about planning for Medicaid, if you think your parents should be talking about this, speak to them. Tell them they can call us. There is absolutely no obligation whatsoever, but they can get a lot of information that's going to help protect them. I have a lot of second-generation people coming to me, meaning the children of their parents coming to me and saying, listen, how do I approach the conversation with mom and dad? How do I at least get them to be intrigued or curious about what they could be doing? Because think about it. The child doesn't want all that money to go to long-term care. I mean, if there's a way around it, if there's a way to transfer that risk of losing all those assets, either through long-term care or a more advanced planning strategy, it doesn't hurt you to know what that is. It actually will help greatly. So I hope that helped. Remember, comment below. We're still doing our promotion right now. We're giving $100 away in a contest. All you have to do is share and comment. I have a lot of people sharing right now. Nobody's commenting. I shouldn't say nobody. There's actually been quite a few comments, but the vast majority of people are sharing our video, but they're not commenting. So in order to be entered to win the $100 gift card, you have to share our post either on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, one of the social medias, and also comment in there about what you would love the next topic to be. What do you want us to talk about? What are you curious about? That's what we'll do our next video on. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate everyone who has been subscribing to our videos, who's been watching our videos. People have been calling me with great questions, so keep it going. That's what we're doing these for. We love what we do, and that's why I wanted to just do a video a day, give you information. It might be something that you're not thinking about right now, but you put in the back of your head, and someday in the future you're like, oh, you know what? I actually saw a great video. Here's the refresher. I know how I can find the information, and you can provide that information to a loved one or use it yourself. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.